Hello, traders. Cousin Vinny coming to you from theclosingprint.com, April 2nd, 2023.
There you go.
In this edition of your weekend video newsletter, we'll discuss the indices and the markets in general that all moved higher last week as breadth improved. With more bullish signals at 16, 2 are neutral and 2 are bearish going into this week. We have support at 39.50 and 4,000 and resistance overhead at 40.80 and 4,100. Now that the JP Morgan collar has rolled out 3 months, we can look forward to some direction on Monday. S&P 500 broke out above that 4,000 level last week. We're now 12.5% off of the all-time highs of January 2022. RSI's above 50 and rising, telling you the strength of this trend is improving, but not overbought yet. Volume increased on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and we have oscillators all pointing higher, with stochastics now in the red zone, with potential for a pullback in the short term, as breadth has now breached that plus 30% zone, with the S&P 500 plus 38.7%. With 3 of the 4 above 30%, there's a good possibility we could retrace a little bit of last week's gains. With NAMO and NIMO, breadth continued to improve for 3 weeks straight, which was also reflected in the New York FANG index of the big cap tech names that followed through. After a fade on Friday and then Monday and Tuesday, we rallied on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So it looks pretty good for the week ahead, but I wouldn't be surprised for some short-term weakness as we start the day on Monday. Yields did bounce a little bit on Friday, but not enough to affect the bond stock ratio, which did turn back down. You can see the 65-period moving average is flat. So that just means we could oscillate back and forth. As we can see with the 20-year, been moving sideways in a range, trying to get some traction here. So there is a possibility we could see bonds move higher this week as stochastics move from oversold and starting to head back towards 80. And AGG pushes a bit higher. So look for bonds to improve a little bit. Maybe yields pull back. That would be good for big cap tech yet again this week. The dollar also faded a bit. There's news that India is going to start using the rupees and ganging up on the U.S. as far as strengthen the U.S. dollar. We're still sitting here at 102. Any move lower would be good for tech stocks. A move higher and a rally would create a headwind. Commodities related to economic conditions. We have copper trying to break above that 415 level and start a new leg higher. That would be bullish for the economy, while gold and silver remain in a bullish trend. With the latter, we had nearly 1% gain on Friday. Continues along the 9/21 day. Both are above the 50-day, and volume has been increasing, looking for a short squeeze in silver. Brent crude managed to bounce last week. Along with gasoline, the continuous contract continues to push higher. We're looking for a retest of the $2.80 level for gas going into the summer months. That would be a headwind for consumers. Sectors have improved markedly over the last 4 weeks. You can see deep crimson colors moving to yellows and oranges. Now we're going to lime greens and yellows. With most of the sectors bouncing, we had improvement in international markets as well, with the major European markets like Germany breaching that 15,000 level again. The UK is rising. The French CAC index following through. The Nikkei pushed higher. India Nifty 50 is trying to break a descending channel. And the Shanghai exchange has been sideways. International markets have improved with few exceptions. S&P 500 sectors all pushed higher, with industrials, consumer discretionary, technology, and consumer discretionary stocks all pushing higher. They're looking very strong this week. So if you're thinking about New positions, watch the semiconductors, there's communications, technology. Those three are very strong, looking for a follow through. Consumer discretionary, you want to see that moving higher. And retail, if you're bullish on the economy. And if you're trading small caps, you want to see these 9 sectors all moving higher. They are. So that would be good for U.S. indices if we can see a bounce in small caps as well. The IBD 50 are all moving higher with very few exceptions. What I'm looking for is high relative volume and stochastics moving higher with prices breaking out or pushing away from a recent base like we have with Arista Networks in the technology sector, looking for a follow-through, stochastics to turn higher. AMD also looking for this breakout above 100 this week, looking for volume to pick up as well as semiconductors continue to see strength. We had ADI, analog devices, semiconductor space also pushing higher. Array Technologies reported earnings on March 21st. The company beat by 92% and saw revenue growth of 82.9%. Array Technologies is a leading American company and global provider of utility-scale solar tracker technology. It also designs and manufactures ground-mounting systems used in large solar energy projects. Axon Technologies looking for a follow-through and a breakout. Revenue growth of 54.5% in its last earnings report. Reports again on May 30th. Axon provides body-worn cameras, among other technologies, for police and military applications. With the stock trying to break out to new 52-week highs, RSI is above 50 and rising. Volume was well above average last week. Looking for institutions to continue building positions. MACD and stochastics are bullish. Looking for a follow-through in Axon on Monday. DraftKings reporting revenue growth of 80.7% in its last report. It reports again in May on the 18th. Looking for a follow-through. DraftKings with some news about more states approving online betting, with the stock breaking out of a descending channel that we pointed out on Wednesday last week. Follow it through on Thursday and Friday. MACD and stochastics are pointing higher. Volume picked up, showing that institutions are accumulating shares again. And RSI is showing strength of trend as it points above 50 and starts to head towards 70, but not overbought at present. As you will recall, the retail and consumer discretionary were improving. We're looking for stocks like Five Below to push higher, along with Walmart, Target, and the big box stores, with Five Below in a little flat saucer-shaped pattern, looking for a break above recent highs, along with Walmart, which we pointed out early last week, following through on the breakout, and Costco looking for a break above 500. Back above the 200-day moving average. Volume was above average on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. In addition to Target, which had a very nice break of this descending channel back to the 50-day moving average. RSI is rising, MACD turning, and stochastics rising. Not overbought yet. Looking for a target to continue. I like the setup here. This could probably break higher very quickly. It's got a $4.50 ATR. On Friday, it was up over $5.36, suggesting that's a expansion day, and we'll see a follow-through potentially this week. Big cap tech stocks followed through, looking for Microsoft to continue on this path up to the previous highs. The weekly time frame suggests that a trend change will continue. Price above its weekly 10 EMA if you're bullish, and below if you're bearish. Building the right side of a pattern, looking for Microsoft to continue as ChatGPT commentary becomes more ubiquitous. Apple, with similar thoughts, pushing higher, had a nice day on Friday, gapping up and breaking through that 162.50 resistance zone, looking for call walls to shift higher. Volume was above average. Tesla was very strong. We're looking for that to continue, test the 200-day, and head back towards a 300 zone, with the company gaining over 6% on Friday. Additionally, volume was well above average. MACD has turned, stochastics rising, and RSI suggests that there's more upside potential and that trend strength is improving for Tesla. In addition, we had Netflix following through, pushing back above the 50-day on Thursday. Volume picked up over the last 7 trading days, looking very strong. MACD, stochastics, RSI not yet at 70, again pointing to strength of trend and that it's improving. Google also trying to get back above that 108 level. We bounced off the 200-day, looking for RSI to point the way. Volume picking up on Friday. Stochastics and MACD turning. Looking for Google to break out over the next couple of weeks, with bank earnings starting the second week of April, namely with JP Morgan and PNC reporting on the 14th. And then the following week, we've got Goldman Sachs and all the other majors with potential for financials to improve. JP Morgan bouncing off the 200-day on Friday a week ago and then followed through all of last week. Volume picked up, MACD's turned, and stochastics is rising. With similar results from Goldman Sachs, RSI is about to pass through 50. We've got MACD crossing early last week. Volume was picking up as well, and stochastics is yet to get overbought. We were also trading tech stocks like IBM last week, looking for IBM to get through the 200-day. Nice descending pattern. Once this breaks out, a lot of people will key into that. MACD's already turned, and RSI is back above 50. Okay, traders, that's going to do it for me. This is Cousin Vinny coming to you from theclosingprint.com on April 2nd, 2023. Make sure you check out some of these names and see if your favorites are on here. For the most part, all sectors were firing, improving. We'll look for all these stocks listed below to follow through this week. I'll send out a watch list later tonight around midnight on the East Coast and around 9 o'clock on the West Coast, so be sure to check your inbox for that. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Take care, and I'll see you on Monday morning. Ciao.
There